Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namaha. Thank you for joining me on this final day of this Maha Shivarathri celebration. We have been seeing the main theme of Maha Shivarathri is to establish Shiva in his most potent, loving, just melting for the humanity, that kind of a potent stream of wave of love, which he is descending to Mother Earth. And we, the humanity, as gratitude towards him, show our utmost. The word gratitude is too small, or to say I thank. To an extent, it's so difficult for the worshipper to put into words. And the best thing is to just merge into his love consciousness, just merge into him. There's no word, there's no methodology, there's no philosophy, there's no conditions. It's all about realizing his love towards us until to this day, this particular second, still making available for me everything which I want. All these little challenges of a life is again his blessings, so that we will realize our soul much more. So the whole arrangement of this creation seems to be a flow of his delight in every each being, in every each force, the creation, the natural sources. Everything is his play. If you think it quite deeply, it is one single thing, so intelligent, just prevailing everywhere. Now the most important part is it is prevailing in me. Prevailing in me from his limited portion of it. The fullness is there, but not developed, because we have very ignorantly missed this invisible source, yet which is everything of mine. Therefore, since we have somehow forgotten it, or we see it from our own sometimes petty understanding, that he is the source. That is why in a very young age, one calls upon the child, 11, 12 years old, and give him a diksha, a ubadesa diksha, call the child, inform him, this creative energy of Shiva, the world, the power, you, everything in you. We teach the child that there is an invisible source, and you can worship it by having a murti in front of you and doing an abhisheka, where he connects himself to a higher being, introduce that there is a higher being. So you get connected. So a child, the way it connects, must develop in time how the child is accepting this truth. So have we developed ourselves in accepting this Shiva as the truth, as part of me, and I'm in him, therefore he is me, I am him, in whichever way you put. The more you recognize this, when some life challenges comes, if we have been a person who worship our inner Shiva, when life challenges come, you just need to increase this vibration, because why to increase this vibration is because it's a lack of perfection by which life challenges is come. Perfection in a sense that the mind is still struggling to merge, bring this light into the challenging events in life. It is just a flow which seems to be stagnant somewhere. Are you with me? So the more you bring this light, that is why it's very important. This part of it is wisdom. The rest of part of it is experience. This part of wisdom we have to anchor deep into our soul, which is which I have been talking about for 9 days, Maha Shiva, the contents of it, the intelligence of it, the Shakti, the dynamism of it, all the elements found in this creation holds within it. That is Shiva, and that same Shiva is my being. What a closeness, what a strength, what a mentor, what a king that I am associated with every day. So, how is your association with him? How close is your association with him? This depends a very a language which is purely a devotion language, only known to the Bhakta and Shiva. It can be a different language altogether, but the closeness of it is what it matters. Do we have that closeness with Shiva? Because know this, he is Sammai, means all perfection. If there's something imperfect, let us align ourselves with all perfection. Do not disturb the flow. The more you align it, you see things gets perfect. But this again, faith is again how strong is your devotion towards Shiva as inseparable source. So when Shiva becomes inseparable source, then this ego consciousness start learning itself that this separative ego is actually the illusion. That is why separative ego becomes Divine Mother. Divine Mother is actually wisdom and not illusion. Because what it gives rise, although ego is an illusion, what it gives rise is to wisdom that you are being separate, so that this separate points you out to the truth. So is this truth in a different manifestation. Therefore, Divine Mother is wisdom, not illusion. So Divine Mother is the consciousness force of that consciousness. So this force, the consciousness force, is what we call Maha Shiva. It's a force. We have to allow this force to take over us. So allowing this force, well, we have seen where it can only happen in the state of stillness. A mandate given by all masters, from Shiva, Dakshinamurti himself, to all our Siddha masters, rishis, saints, have given this one truth: invoke him in the stillness silence, and the degree of stillness silence flows. Today, the topic which we will be seeing, Jiva becomes Shiva, the individual transforming to Shiva. How Maha Shivarathri sadhana can help the departed soul. What is Akala maranam? In this case, untimely death. Then we will see the power of C mantra, which is also the Shivoham mantra. Shiva Aham mantra. We will see these two mantras in detail. And Jiva becoming Shiva. So Jiva becoming Shiva is not only the soul ascension, that we have seen. You, the devotee of Shiva, realizing this greatest truth that I am Shiva, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahma, I am. So that which you have been in love with that Shiva, with this look with whatever you have seen before within you, or whatever you have heard, see, read the scriptures. Then you have worshipping to a Shivalinga, then understanding that I am the Shivalinga, my human body is the Shivalinga, a kind of a devotion which it gives. The best part to enjoy this devotion is when you have life challenges. When life challenges there is, and you know this truth that I am Shiva, you allow him to take over you, you see how he can resolve the problem, where you'll be amazed. The problem with us is we don't trust this supreme intelligence. That's the human's problem. They, because they are trained to think always of outside the box, human thinking. But the very thinking, the very faculty of thinking intelligently is actually within the box, within you. The very source of intelligence, which can stop knowledge, which can give knowledge, which can seize it, which can reveal it. It's all deep within your consciousness. So how are you going to reveal these things? So Jiva into Shiva can only happen not only your soul consciousness reach the light, but bringing that light back to the mind. We don't deal with our subconscious, bringing the light throughout you until to the external body matter. So this becomes Jiva Shiva. This is a greatest achievement for yogis. It is given free as his compassion to the world on this Maha Shivarathri. Sometimes we have to be serious in what we are approaching also. Divine seriousness, Because I really want to experience you within me, as both of us, as Shivoham, Shivoham. With total focus, when you chant it, you will see how you are participating in the merging, transcending process of Jiva to Shiva. Because the planet is arranging such surge of energy to descend. Definitely, one mantra can be equivalent to thousands of mantras on that day when you place them at the right spot to concentrate. That's what we are doing. Here, an important factor which we all have to understand. I mentioned that as the content of your consciousness right now. What is the content of your consciousness right now? Let's say, what would have been the content of a consciousness of a person who had a untimely death? Untimely death, you understand? Through disease, through an accident, through suicidal, murder, rape and killed. What would have been the content of that consciousness of that soul before it dropped its body? Body dropped due to all these factors. What would be the content of the consciousness of that? Wouldn't that be pain? What else can that be for all this? Because it's a shock. Some even premeditated. And that premeditation is the worst, where they have been staying in pain and pain and pain, and the body drop. There's a chunk of huge pain. So when the body drop, the elemental body drop, which we call death as such, there's much more into it. So what happens to the contents of this thing, which doesn't have a body but a straight? It's somewhere. What is that? Somewhere, chunk of huge pain. And taking into account for the past year, the rate of suicidal, the rate of death, untimely death, body dropped, we have buried it here, maybe burnt it down, earth to earth. What happened to these souls? Souls of pain. So the content of consciousness, since it did not realize the power within it, therefore could not be able to develop into compassion, love, it took a form of pain. Therefore, the content of consciousness doesn't have light. Therefore, since it doesn't have light, it becomes dark. And this dark energy, I'm not talking about the scientific dark energy, dark matter, I'm talking about this dark pain energy is all around. Definitely, it's all around within the earth sphere, because it doesn't have that energy to tantra, to transcend to higher beings or higher world. Since it cannot transcend, this is science, this is not just a simple basic belief pattern, but it cannot elevate, neither it can come down, or some comes down because of too much attachment with that pain when it left the body. So we have a huge field of such souls untimely, but they cannot do a Shivoham, because body, mind, brain concepts are all needed for these souls. Since they don't have this tool of the human body, they cannot do what they really want to, but that soul will be still hankering for redemption, because what they want is peace. And how are we going to give this peace? And we know that they can't do it for themselves. They are beings, yeah? They are part of humanity still. They're part of humanity still. Some loved ones, overnight gone. What will be the situation of that pain, which they also have their mind still alive there? They know. And those persons who have lost, they are also holding pain, connected with that pain. It is all a pain transaction. Are we seeing this? Since pain transaction, it accumulates pain transaction in both sides, which affects humanity also, because full of pain. It's supposed to be a content of consciousness of Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om, evolving to perfection. But this pain can affect this rhythm quite badly. So how can we do our part for this, since those are also pain, are also vibration, which can be subdued with the light of compassion of Shiva. It can, because it holds compassion, compassion to all beings. Since Maha Shivarathri is the way that this compassion light of Arujyoti, of Shiva's most potent, is descending, and we, the one who are the center of which the divine is going to enter, if we can place a Shangalpa, a wish, O Shiva, please bless all souls who have departed, waiting for redemption from you. When this comes, it enters into these souls also. We have a very beautiful environment of peace. because they are Petrus. It's not just a belief pattern. They are there. They need energy, energy to lift them up, to merge into higher world. And what is the energy which we can give them to transcend? Om Namah Shiva. Bodha Shuddhi, isn't it? Cleansing. No more it carries remnants. You can transfer this energy with all our love for all beings and let the entire earth, known forms, unknown forms, everybody celebrate Namah Shivaya. Celebrate Namah Shivaya. And this vibration can be given only by those who sit in the stillness, silence of their consciousness and vibrate Namah Shivaya non-stop. Just go on. Change your present geometry into a divine geometry of Sri Yantra. Sri Yantra is Shiva Shakti, descending, coming together. If you see Arunachala temple, the main sanctum of Arunachala, on his right, outside, Sri Chakra. And they call that the Shiva Chakra, which is the Sri Yantra Chakra. They have a Meru. Telling this is the cosmic supramental truth. And every being must become a Mahameru, Sri Yantra. Sri Yantra is a perfect idea about greatness of Maha Shivarathri, because it's a ascending and a descending act of Shiva Shakti together into matter, into human body. We can establish Shiva permanently into your human body if we have this great understanding and a total state of devotion that you are not different from me, knowing the constitute of the human existence, of different layers of their existence, have a belief and start working towards the other higher existence, in this case, chakra, prana, nadi, into all chakras with specific vibration that can melt you towards your true self. Om Namah Shivaya. So this departed soul, the content being pain, therefore they are having an untimely death. If the content would have been a vibration where it holds higher Shiva's intelligence and love and compassion, that would not have been in such a situation, maybe. What we can learn from that is to always hold on this great vibration of Namah Shivaya constantly in the human consciousness. In this case, your human consciousness must hold his vibration much more than anything else. Therefore, sadhana becomes a must activity for a human, because the content of consciousness constantly change due to a Akala, whenever time comes in. If it is going to be a wrong meeting with that time, there can be a clash there because the vibrations are low. So to constantly keep the vibration high, therefore we take a particular time in life daily, give the time for you and Shiva, and that we call sadhana, where your content of consciousness is going to hold high vibrations, where low vibration may not hit you. You must be always equipped with this. So Akala maranam, untimely death, has different degrees of pain accumulated, even the soldiers, because it's untimely. That soul wanted to live with life, with family, parents, suddenly end, it's in a shock. Therefore, it accumulates pain. Another big pain is when somebody is been hanged to death. There's another serious pain, which we see the effects can be much more, because the person waits for a very long time before he get hanged. And what happens to this pain? It becomes a hurting agent to the humankind, because it accumulated pain. So how are we going to deal with all these things spreading? It's all depend on a single individual, you and me, who could be able to think rather deeply the power of Maha Shiva. And if we can put this time for ourselves, surrender to him with only one thing in me, Om Namah Shivaya. I am him, he I am, keep on vibrating him again and again and again. That night, surrender your life to him. Why are we scared to surrender to God? I am not sure. Somebody should answer me this question. Right. Pray to God is okay, far away. Do one archana for him for $1. That's enough. But you want everything of his to settle all your problems. You want everything of his. But merging, no. Why? I don't know. If I merge, then suddenly I become what? You become divine, you don't want to be divine. So you unconsciously are welcoming human problems for yourself. You're welcoming, because you fail to understand this degree of compassion, intelligence, and wisdom with Divine Mother's power. You still find it difficult to merge, difficult to surrender, difficult to place your prana in there. That difficulty is the difficulty of ignorance, scared. If I go into spirituality, what will happen? Outside world will be much more better if you go inside, if everyone goes inside. So at least for that one day we surrender him. One day. The best way to surrender is what? Surrender. Surrender means surrender life, Is it? Surrender means I surrender my life to you, O Shiva. What is life? Inhalation, exhalation. If it goes, doesn't come out, or don't inhale, then bye-bye. You're gone, right? The life force, right? Life force. Your inhalation, exhalation. Try surrendering it. You will see whether you will die or live forever. Surrendering your breath to him, you will see how this both breathing ceases, and you will be extremely, potently high in wisdom without depending on these two. That becomes Shivoham. Soham. In between what? But this is the catch, sir. They teach you Soham. They don't teach you the lock of the Soham. 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 Inhalation, exhalation. In between, no breathing. What is that? I am sure. No need breath. I survive in my own glory. And that glory is the supramental Shiva descending to Mother Earth on Maha Shivarathri. We sacrifice this prana. Focus on Shivoham. We merge. The rest will be experiencers. It's not me giving it or who giving it. Shiva giving it to you directly. It's truly a time to celebrate. It is a must to celebrate this day. So So this untimely death, again, is the duty of humanity. So this untimely death, when somebody passes with pain, because did not realize the soul, therefore this conflict. If untimely death is happening to a soul which has understood, realized itself, will see the death happening, but will not carry the pain within. Excuse me. Because he is seeing his own activity. He is participating in the evolution, and he will see how the body drops, and he doesn't die. Mrityunjay. Excuse me. Sometimes this pranic field flows from Muladhara, The wisdom, when we share wisdom, it's not sharing through some understanding of words, but it flows from the wisdom within, which everybody holds because Shiva Guru is within. And the wisdom is from Shiva Guru himself. When you align as a master, you automatically get aligned with this. When this alignment takes place, it actually takes place in the Kundalini Shakti of Divine Mother. And the more intense you go into the depth of it, she releases herself, and this Kundalini rise, and I'm communicating with outside, and there seems to be a clash of hers into my throat. The throat is the growth of wisdom, the Vak Bhava Shakti. So when it transmits like that, maybe, I'm not sure. That's why. Excuse me. So the power of Shivoham, Aham Shiva, in the person who's living, who is vibrating Shiva as Namah Shivaya. And he knows that this being is a separative being, not touched by anything. So pure, so holy, it is Shiva. Pure means it's Shiva, and that's me. The more you tune yourself, Shivoham. Shivoham is not by lips. Shivoham is by experiencing, by merging, by understanding, by love, devotion. I am Shiva. Keep on doing that. You enter into his evolution. The third eye, this third eye opening with, I'm not sure, it is the third eye opens through extreme wisdom, alignment totally of Shivoham with Divine Mother's Kundalini. She rises and gives you the light within the head, which we call the third eye, Atma Chakra. It can be only opened with total devotion, especially with a focus on Shivoham. We'll be doing that on our Maha Shivarathri, Shivoham, the last final ascension. In each phase, in each kala, the final ascension will be a deep Shivoham by planting the sea mantra. We will see the sea mantra. The sea mantra is the mantra, whatever we have been talking about Maha Shivarathri, the sea mantra. You place the sea mantra in the content of your consciousness. Shivoham, Shivoham, seeing, see. When you consciously see yourself as a cosmic consciousness of Nada Bindu, focus intelligence, literally you do that, sir. Place the letter C into your consciousness. The ripples create C mantra. C holds Mahashiva. Mantra itself holds Shiva. Let it sink and watch. Sink. S-Y-N-C. Sink and watch the sinking. Then go on Shivo. Dissolution, dissolute. This realization happens very easily on Maha Shivarathri. That is why we are going. Please come, each one, whoever listening to this, humble plea. Please bring as many friends and family, as many as possible. Sit down for this 4 kala. It is first to serve yourself, second as a duty to serve Mother Earth and humanity. This we must do it. That's the purpose for Maha Shivarathri, is for well-being of humanity, and we have to participate His will. You understand? Participate His will. What is His will? Compassion, to bring my delight, love, light to all humanity. That's His will. Can be accepted. Oh Shiva, thank you. Maha Shivarathri, you are giving me this chance to serve humanity by aligning my soul to you. What else can I do better? So Maha Shivarathri is not only a day of celebration of the soul, it's a day to share our love, delight to all humanity. And first thing you share with your body and mind, establish Shiva permanently in us. We will see a couple of verses here. It's very interesting. I really wanted to tell this to many. There's 4 kinds of death which we actually experience every day, but we fail to understand them. In daily death, our bodies gross and subtle transcended. We are dying every day. When you go into deep sleep, you neither know the world, either you know yourself. You know deep sleep, you don't know anything. You don't know the outside world, neither you know yourself. Total empty, total ignorance, total darkness. But the living force is still there. That is why next day you can wake up. Living force still there, Shiva is still there. But you are dead. To the world, to the conscious of your body, both died. So it's death, isn't it? But you survive the next day. See what's next. In fated death is the Maya body annihilated. Maya body. What is the fated death? That you're supposed to die, let's say, in time frame, in 90 years old, fate. What dies is the illusion which dies. What is the illusion? Which you have been carrying a particular body, mind, with a set of relationships, set of family, a set of arrangement in which you passed And that thing which you are no more attached to dropped, but you are still there. So this is the illusion death. Actually, you didn't die. All that which you are holding dropped, therefore you are surviving there. It's the illusionary death. There's one called pure death. Mind and cognates merge in infinite. This is pure death. This death happens in daily meditation. Meditation is all about dying. Dying to everything you are attached with, dying to your body, dying to your mind, dying to the world, but still being alive in His grace as Shiva. So when daily you go into this, the body mind doesn't come in between you, you're rising into Shiva. This is the pure death. Shiva. You're understanding death now. There's no death, but death. Another one. In redemption death, Shiva's grace descend true. You see, Shiva's grace descend true in this redemption death, becoming Shiva. When he descend, in particularly not the ascension, the descent power of Shiva, you become redemption death, moksha prapti. I am Shiva, one and the same. In all degrees, if you see, death is a word of phantom. Can we take it? It's a process which is itself taking its own progress to become light. Therefore, we have to know that I came here to transcend, transform me to light, and I will take all steps in between to transform that. If you don't, this is not giving you a fear, or you must do this or else you will die with pain. No, no, no. I'm asking you to understand bringing light to your life. Because death is a person of a being which you cannot argue with him. If he comes, comes. No argument. You can argue with anybody, this person, no argument. Since you cannot argue, please understand how to win over him. Win over him is what? Markandeya Puranam, where he loves Shiva so much, and Appa was asking him to chant something else. No, no, I only want Shiva. And this boy is supposed to die in a particular age of 16 or something. But he didn't want to because he wanted to worship Shiva. So when Kala came, which is in his list at this age, he has to go again. The death of fate, he came. But Markandeya, hold on to the Shiva. Nothing will touch me, you can go away. When death came, he cannot hold him because he merged into cosmic Maha Shiva. Untouched, nobody can touch. Kala cannot come near you when you are always aligned. Akala maranam can never happen to a person who's vibrating on Namah Shivaya unless he will to end him, his body, or through his body and align with him. That's a different part of it altogether. So Akala maranam Sambhavita cannot come to you when you are keep on vibrating Namah Shivaya. This is truth because they celebrate Shiva as a smashana. And he prefers that, when he came for his marriage with his wedding, where Vishnu have to change him to be a bride groom, it changed to be a very good looking groom. Shiva was very uncomfortable, because he loves to be in smashana, into human body, and making sure they are always in good health. That's Shiva. He constantly loves to vibrate in the smashan. This human body is smashan. So how are we going to see Shiva as a one moment he's in the smashan, next moment as a Bhairava having dogs, next moment as a Swarna Krishna Bhairava, next moment as a Dakshinamurti. Why? All for the need of the human, our human needs. He is fulfilling, therefore taking so many forms, so many expressions. Why not just vibrate him and ask him to do all that necessary? We buy one, get million free, isn't it? But you have to know the abstract of Shiva, the very abstract of Shiva. Abstract, you abstract him, do you know the abstract? The abstract can only be known when you get absorbed into him. Absorbed. Your spine gets straight, you know. By itself, your spine gets straight. With all your devotion on him, and you just call Om Namah Shiva, it vibrates. Magic, is a magician. That is why life of gnosis is not far away. Life of gnosis means siddhas. Because this siddhas we call the mystic. Shiva is a mystic. You cannot be having yama niyama, straight law. It doesn't work like that. You have to blend. That's why it's mystic. It's a language of mysticism. And the mysticism language is what we call Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Mystic, where Shiva teaching Parvati, all the mysticism involved in how I created the creation. And the best mysticism I have taken out from me is you, Shakti. You are the greatest mystic which I have created. And your mysticism is what the world needs. Shiva is not a mystic. Divine Mother is the mystic. She dance. The mysticism is the wisdom. The mystic is what we cannot share certain experience with others, because for others that is maybe a stupid statement. But for that who experienced that, for him is mystic because it's true. It cannot be untrue. It cannot be an illusion, because the state of the mind of the devotee is one pointed and merging into him. What he or she see in the consciousness is not illusion. It's a form of Shiva taking as a blessing given to you. That is why sadhana, when we go to the depth of it, when you see forms, vibration, those are not illusion. They are the content of a higher consciousness, not the human consciousness content. That content differs so much from the petty human surface mind. Therefore, the surface mind must be outbid by the cosmic light, and the cosmic light will outbid the human thinking. This is a process. Maha Shivarathri is the process. If you really want to fix your life, do it tomorrow. Really, with all these in-depth teachings, these are depth teachings. These are depth in the most simplified manner. You don't need anything. So now we will see this Shivoham meditation, which is very unique to the yogic sampradaya. This Shivoham is a particular practice where one brings down Shiva as him. When this is concluded, when you have transcended into Shiva, he pour in all the wisdom for you. Self-knowledge happens inside Shiva. And product of Shivoham is self-knowledge. Nothing moves. When nothing moves, wisdom, light alone stays. This is the power of Shivoham. The final ascension, final descent of all masters is all end with Shivoham. The Veda Anga, part of the Vedas, and the Agamas, these three celebrate Shivoham alone. You can go and do introspection, do a search. This is the truth. The Veda Anga, and the Agama, everything is aligned with this greatest meditation for humanity is Shivoham meditation. There is a technique. It's not just doing Shivoham. There's a lot of background practice because it comes along with Soham, Shivoham, and in which state of your consciousness you are placing it there. This all being revealed and given to humanity. And tomorrow we are going to practice that. As being given so profoundly by the great Siddha Master Trimola. This is the book which I use, but there are much more other books also. This is Trumola's Trimola. So we will be celebrating Maha Shivarathri tomorrow. We have seen the importance of Maha Shivarathri, and the greatest importance because it's something to do with earth and earth beings. We, as the human race, there's only one race, a human race. The purpose of this human race is not to be stagnant as a human race. It must be an enlightened human race. The race of the Gnostic, the race of the mystic, who lives in this world as God, life divine. This is the purpose of humanity and this earth. We have to understand this purposefulness, and to fulfill this purposefulness, Maha Shivarathri is the day, the grand finale tomorrow, and we are all prepared. I really hope my 10 days of teachings about the Siddha Masters and the yogis as how they celebrated Maha Shivarathri, hoping it would have given you the trust and faith that I too want to be part of Maha Shivarathri, to use my human body as a vessel to serve myself, humanity, Mother Earth, establish Shiva in Mother Earth permanently. These are not old philosophies, this is not new philosophy, it's a very ancient philosophy. Supramentalizing Mother Earth, supramentalizing every being in Mother Earth is the very old tradition of the Siddhas. It will prevail. It has to prevail. Supramental has to take place in Mother Earth sooner or later. It is best to allow it to happen right now, this Maha Shivarathri. Let that be initiation, that we consecrate human temple all around the world. This is the will of Shiva, not will of me, who am I here, but it's the will of Shiva. To the depth you go, he wants all of us to be Shiva, small Shiva. How do we want to thank him? It's all depend on you. How are we going to do it? So maybe I thought we can go for a nice Namah Shivaya guided meditation just on our heart chakra. The rest we'll see tomorrow. And we'll go into Shivoham. Please close your eyes. You can chant with me if you wish to. Feel relaxed. Bring your attention to your breathing. Involuntary breathing. Just watch your breath. Watch your inhalation. As it exhales, keep watching. Keep watching your breath. What is the very source of your breathing, which is not you? Focus on that silence. That silence is Bindu, the golden light. That is your soul, and that is Shiva. Keep watching the silence, which is Shiva. Vibrate your consciousness. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Watch the silence. That silence is Shiva Mahaprana. Shivoham. 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 I'm with you, Shiva. You are the inseparable source of me. I surrender to you. Shivoham. Shivoham. I have nothing to give to you, but I have everything. Shivoham. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Keep watching the silence. This is another degree of silence and stillness. You can ascend yourself to another degree of silence. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Don't move, just watch your soul. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om Shivaya Namah Om Namah Shivaya. Shivoham. Absorb into him. Live in his consciousness. You are perfecting yourself now because he descends in you. You are no more. Aham Shiva alone is. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namo. Nadure Shivane Potri. எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். சிவசிதம்பரம். So we will meet tomorrow at a given time. We will keep updating our FB page with all timings and try to share it with the maximum number of people. All the kalas have been separated into different link so that it is easy for you to press that link and it will bring you directly to the event. And try to come 5 minutes early, and the best is not to consume food or water at least 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after. So because the body needs to hold lots of divinity, so it is good that the body is not being stuffed with too much food. Water is okay. So we will meet, and before every kala I will be explaining the chakras and how to concentrate and where to concentrate. So everything will be guided, and not to worry. Whoever you're sending the message to, tell them that everything will be guided, not to worry. It is part of the human constitute. So there's nothing to worry because it's Shiva. Please, it's Shiva. Understand Shiva. There's no worry in him, please. There's only compassion, love. Do not bring something which is not there into Shiva. What will happen? Now, what is this fear? You have not understood him. The simplest thing. Look Shiva so high. Try to make him very small and see, and you will catch him. Make him very small. I hope you understand my devotional language. It's language of devotion. That's why they call Irai Porul. Irai. Small. Because if it's small, you can start communicating with it easily. So do that. Thank you so much. I'll meet you tomorrow. I'm getting very excited already.